Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can stay updated on all of our deep dive content. Today, we're tackling a topic that's been on a lot of minds. Why do intelligent people often seem to have fewer friends? Now, before we dive into this, I want to make something clear. Having fewer friends doesn't necessarily mean something negative. For some, it's a conscious choice based on personality, lifestyle, or even their intelligence. In this video, we're going to break down 5 key reasons why highly intelligent people might prefer smaller, more selective social circles. If you can relate, or if you know someone like this, stick around. Sometimes it feels like we live in a culture that values quantity over quality, We're constantly bombarded with messages that more is better. More friends, more likes, more followers. It's like a never-ending race to accumulate as much as possible, without really considering the true value of what we're collecting. Like, how many followers you have matters more than who those followers are. It's all about the numbers, the metrics, the superficial indicators of success. But what do those numbers really mean? Do they reflect genuine connections? Or are they just a facade, a way to feel validated in a world that's increasingly disconnected? And maybe that works for double taps on Instagram. But when it comes to friendships, I think most of us, especially folks who think a lot, crave something deeper. We yearn for conversations that go beyond the surface, for relationships that are built on mutual understanding and respect. We want to be seen and heard for who we truly are, not just for the image we project online. It's like that old saying, right? It's better to have a few true friends. Friends who know your quirks, your dreams, your fears. Friends who stand by you through thick and thin, who celebrate your successes and support you in your struggles. These are the relationships that enrich our lives, that give us a sense of belonging and purpose. Well, for some people, that's not just a saying, it's a way of life. They prioritize quality over quantity, seeking out connections that are meaningful and lasting. They understand that true friendship isn't about the number of people in your life, but the depth of the bonds you share with them. They'd rather have a handful of close friends who really understand them than a huge group of acquaintances they barely know. It's about finding those rare individuals who resonate with your soul, who challenge you to grow and evolve, who inspire you to be your best self. And that's where intelligence can come in, because when you're constantly thinking, analyzing, and questioning the world around you, it can be hard to find people who can keep up. You seek out those who can engage in deep, meaningful conversations, who can match your curiosity and passion for learning. Because when you're constantly thinking, analyzing, and questioning the world around you, it can be hard to find people who can keep up. You seek out those who can engage in deep, meaningful conversations, who can match your curiosity and passion for learning. It's not just about having someone to talk to, but having someone who truly understands and appreciates your perspective. These are the connections that make life richer, more fulfilling, and ultimately, more meaningful. Okay, let's be honest. Does anyone actually enjoy small talk? Like, how's the weather treating you? Did you see the game last night? These are the kinds of questions that fill the air at social gatherings, in office break rooms, and even in line at the grocery store. It's fine, it's polite, it's how we navigate the world, but it's not exactly intellectually stimulating, is it? These conversations often feel like a script we're all following, a set of lines we've memorized to get through the day. And for some people, especially those who are constantly thinking about big ideas and complex issues, small talk can feel downright painful. It's like being stuck in a loop of superficiality when your mind is yearning for depth. It's like trying to quench your thirst with a single drop of water. You need more, you crave more, but all you get is a tiny, unsatisfying sip. They crave those deep, meaningful conversations, the kind that leave you feeling energized and inspired. Conversations that challenge your thinking, that make you see the world in a new light. They want to talk about philosophy, art, science, literature, the things that really matter. These are the topics that ignite their passion, that make them feel alive. But finding people who are willing to engage in those kinds of conversations, well, that can be a challenge. In a world where small talk is the norm, finding someone who wants to dive deep can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. And so, sometimes, intelligent people just opt out of the small talk altogether. They might choose to sit alone, lost in their thoughts, rather than engage in another round of "how's the weather?" Instead, They find solace in solitary activities that allow them to explore their thoughts and ideas. Reading a book, writing in a journal, or even just daydreaming can be far more fulfilling than another mundane conversation. But when they do find someone who shares their interests, it's like a breath of fresh air. Suddenly, the conversation flows effortlessly, and they can talk for hours without feeling drained. These moments of connection are rare, but they are incredibly valuable. They remind us that we are not alone in our desire for deeper, more meaningful interactions. So the next time you find yourself stuck in a small talk loop, remember that there are others out there who feel the same way. And who knows, you might just find a kindred spirit who is also looking for a more substantial conversation. Because at the end of the day, it's those deep, meaningful connections that truly enrich our lives and make all the small talk worth it. Chapter 3: The Independence Paradox. Here's the thing about intelligent people. They're often incredibly independent. They're problem solvers, critical thinkers. They like to figure things out for themselves. And that's awesome. It's a strength, but it can also be a bit of a double-edged sword when it comes to friendships. Because if you're used to relying on yourself, it can be hard to let other people in, to let them see your vulnerabilities, to ask for help when you need it. And so, even though you might really want deeper connections, you end up pushing people away without even realizing it. It's like this weird paradox, right? You crave connection, but your own independence makes it hard to achieve it. Chapter 4: The Difficulty of Finding Your People. Have you ever had that feeling like you're the only one who sees the world the way you do? Like, you're surrounded by people, but you still feel utterly alone? That's a feeling that many intelligent people know all too well. Because when you're constantly thinking outside the box, challenging assumptions, and questioning the status quo, it can be hard to find people who share your perspective. It's like you're speaking a different language, one that most people don't understand. And that can be incredibly isolating. You crave connection, but you also crave authenticity. You don't want to dumb yourself down or pretend to be someone you're not just to fit in. Chapter 5: The Time TradeOff. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about time. Because we all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? But how we choose to spend those hours? Well, that's what really matters. And for many intelligent people, those hours are precious. They're constantly learning, exploring, creating, pursuing their passions with a kind of laser-like focus. And that doesn't leave a lot of time for, well, anything else, including socializing. So it's not that they don't value friendships. It's that they're making a conscious choice to prioritize their time and energy elsewhere. It's a trade-off for sure, but sometimes it's the only way to achieve your goals and live a life that feels truly fulfilling. So there you have it. 5 reasons why intelligent people often have fewer friends. We've explored how their need for deep, meaningful conversations, their preference for solitude, and their high standards for friendships can lead to smaller social circles. It's important to understand that having fewer friends doesn't mean someone is lonely or antisocial. In fact, many intelligent individuals find great joy and fulfillment in their own company, and in the few close relationships they do maintain. For many intelligent individuals, it's about finding the right kind of connections and balancing their time between socializing and personal growth. They often seek out relationships that are intellectually stimulating and emotionally rewarding, rather than just having a large number of acquaintances. Can you relate to any of these points? Maybe you've noticed that you prefer a few close friends over a large social network. Or perhaps you find that your interests and passions sometimes set you apart from others. Or maybe you know someone who fits this description. Someone who is incredibly intelligent and seems to thrive with a smaller, more intimate group of friends. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so make sure to leave a comment down below. Share your experiences or tell us about someone you know who fits this profile. Your insights could help others understand this dynamic better. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Your support helps us create more content that resonates with you and others who are interested in understanding the complexities of human relationships. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more insightful content like this. We cover a wide range of topics that delve into the intricacies of human behavior, psychology, and personal development. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and continue to nurture those meaningful connections in your life. Remember, It's not about the quantity of friends, but the quality of the relationships that truly matter.